Dr. Joseph Perreira was conferred with an honorary doctorate for excellence in sports and civic engagement. More from Michael Can.
Just for the records, there's nothing on my passport which says Reds. My name, for your Joseph Anthony Patrick. But I was one of 9 that had red hair. So when I started to play football for the JFC, and I started to play other sports, the sports writers then used to put the Reds, they obviously thought it was good press. And today, I sign my name as Reds Perreira. I get checks as Reds Perreira. And sometimes the bank manager will say, sign the back of it, please, Joseph.
84-year-old renowned Guyanese cricket commentator Joseph Reds Perreira, who hails from the Pomeroon in Region No. 2, was conferred with an honorary doctorate for excellence in sports and civic engagement on Saturday, November 18, 2023, at the 22nd convocation of the University of Guyana Berbice campus on the quarantine. The citation for the recipient of the honorary doctorate was read by Dr. Roslyn Khan.
Instead of striving to become an umpire or a scorer or a cricketer, opted for the rare profession of cricket commentator, a profession that depended largely on eloquent oral delivery. Yes, Chancellor, against all odds, our esteemed honorary set out on a determined mission to master that impediment by creativity. He employed strategies such as repeated narration of imaginary cricket matches and non-stop rehearsals as a cricket commentator.
Chancellor of the University of Guyana, Professor Edward Green, and Vice Chancellor, Professor Paloma Mohammed Martin, conferred and presented the instruments of the honorary doctorate to Dr. Reds Perreira, who responded by saying,
Never in my dreams I ever expected to be here. I've come to Berbice on many occasions. You might be surprised to know the first time I came to Berbice was on foot. I walked from Georgetown, Zignall. And I swear on my mother's grave, I am not telling you a lie. I slept at DM Canans in Amsterdam. I've come here for many of cricket matches. My first, thanks to Rafi Khan, Radio Damarar, the late great, he chose me to come and do my first-class match, British Guyana versus Trinidad at Rose Hall. I've coached Berbice in football. We lost 2-0, but they played with dignity. But Berbice is always a very special place to me because of what has transpired at Port Morant with the greats of Rohan Kanai, who soon will be here to join you, and the other greats that Port Morant and the rest of Berbice have produced for Guyana and for the West Indies.
Dr. Perreira got involved in organized sport in the year 1945, but it was in 1959 he began his career in radio commentary.
But I'm here thanks to my late mother, who, have you heard, allowed me fantasy to lie in bed when I was stammering, but I couldn't put sentences together. She allowed me to fantasize doing commentary at Lord's and Statham to bowl to Canhai and Truman to bowl to Sobers. I did matches from Madison Square Garden out of my head. England versus Brazil at Wembley in football. It was a caring mother. She could have said, this boy isn't going to make much. But she saw I had an interest. and she helped to develop that interest. In 1956, my late father, gave me a trip on a booker's boat. $25 had to sleep in the deck, but I went to watch the West Indies trial matches as they were picking a team to go to England in 1957. That was all part of a caring family. My father was a man of few words. My mother was a more warmer personality. But I wasn't sure in which direction I was going, but I had a path, and that path eventually worked.
With over 50 years in the field of broadcasting, Dr. Reds also commented in a number of other sports.
I set my heights, I set my standards, and I wanted to be the best I could be. I saw the best cricketers in the world. I am blessed. And I worked with the best commentators in the world. And some of them have rubbed off in terms of style and technique, whilst maintaining my own way of speaking. PE must be taught in Guyana. At the G.C. Foster School in Jamaica taught PE, and they made a great contribution to sport in Jamaica, and the UG can do the same by producing PE students to go forward and help develop sport in Guyana.
In absentia, West Indies and Guyana cricket legend Rohan Kanhai also received an honorary doctorate. Michael Khan, Channel 8 Sports.